With me is Blair from New Zealand. He's a technical manager in New Zealand, and one of the questions that we've been after Blair with is the difference between tetraploids and diploids. So Blair, how do you see, we've sometimes advocated mixing the two. Do you think that's a good idea?
Yes, and it depends essentially. If you can manage the tetraploids right and not overgraze them, then 100% tetraploids is great. But if you're struggling with a little bit of management and have a tendency to overgraze, then a little bit of diploid, or half in terms of plant number, half diploid, that'll just protect the base of the tetraploids. The cows will come down and graze, and generally with a tetraploid they'll graze to here if you let them, but if there's a bit of diploid in there, they'll just start hitting their nose and they'll think, oh no, I'm not pushing myself too hard. So it actually extends the longevity and persistence of those pastures. And also the tetraploids are fantastic. What we're finding in New Zealand, and this is based on a working dairy farm example, is that they can let the covers go a little bit higher, and with the 3-leaf stage, when the third leaf's coming out, that's pretty much half your dry matter in that last leaf.
Yeah.
So if you graze at 2.5 instead of 3, you're losing, say, 25% of your yield.
Yeah.
So if you can push that up to your pre-grazing residual around that 2.8, 3-leaf stage, you're actually gaining a lot of yield.
Yeah.
And with tetraploids, it allows the cows to bring it down a lot easier. But with diploids, if you go over that 3 leaves, the base starts to get a bit brown and grey, and the stock actually don't want to graze too hard. So it's actually hard to hit your post-grazing residual.
Okay. Yeah.
So a combination of the two, diploid and tetraploid, it's sort of a best of both worlds in a way. We've talked about persistency, we've talked about the palatability of tetraploids, and with that palatability comes energy, ME. So a mixture basically is, as I said, the best of both worlds. It reduces the risk of overgrazing. There's still a risk, but it also allows you just to push the covers up a little bit more and capture that top end yield, but still be able to bring it down to that ideal post-grazing management. And we're seeing in this dairy farm in New Zealand, just changing that management to go to more 3-leaf stage target than say 2.5, extra 1.2 tonne. For nothing else, no changes. Okay, and that's the only change they made. So 1.2 tonne a year over 100 hectares.
So typically here our tetraploid would be a Viscount. Our top diploid at the moment is Governor, and we'd mix 50-50 by plant population.
Yes.
So that would be 15 kgs of Viscount, 12.5 kgs of diploid to give you.
10 to 12, Yep, perfect.